Welcome! So today we are going on a treasure hunt, and our map is actually an ancient parable about a wise father, his kids, and this incredible promise of a hidden treasure. Let's start digging, shall we?
So, just like their father told them, the children went out and they dug. Man, they dug everywhere, turning over every single inch of that vineyard, looking for some kind of buried gold. But they found nothing, zilch. And they were pretty bummed out, as you can imagine. But then, autumn rolled around, and that vineyard, it produced the most amazing, plentiful harvest they had ever seen. All that digging had perfectly prepared the soil, and that's when it clicked. The harvest was the treasure.
So, in a very similar way, we've been given a promise of a treasure too. It's not buried in a vineyard, but it's hidden right at the intersection of two huge missions given to all of us. And that leads to our big question for today. What exactly is this treasure? And, where do we even start digging? Let's pull out the map.
Okay, the first part of our map takes us way, way back, all the way to the beginning, to a mission laid out in the book of Genesis. Think of it as a foundational command for every single human being, kind of like a blueprint for how we're supposed to engage with the world. It's often called the Eden Mandate. Now, this idea of Edenization, it sounds fancy, but it's actually pretty simple and really profound. The whole point is to cultivate the world around us, to build communities that are peaceful and prosperous, to basically make the entire earth into a flourishing garden. It's a mission to create, to build, and to bring beauty and order out of chaos with love and truth as the foundation. And here's the thing. This mission isn't some abstract philosophical idea. It is super practical. As you can see here, it's carried out through the two most fundamental parts of human life. First, through our families. We live out the mission to be fruitful and multiply. And second, through our work, we subdue the earth, which really means we innovate, we create, we build society. And this applies to everybody. It doesn't matter what you believe. We are all, in one way or another, part of this first great mission every single day of our lives. But, like any good treasure hunt, there's always a catch, right? There's an obstacle. There's a counterfeit map floating around that promises riches, but really just leads you to a dead end. And this thing is a powerful, corrupting force that tries to pull us away from the real prize. This brings us to a huge clash of civilizations, a fundamental choice between two totally different ways of building the world. On one side, you've got Edenization, that mission to build a world based on love and truth. And on the other side, you have its polar opposite, Babylonization, a culture built on a much, much darker foundation.
So what is Babylonianization? Well, it's basically the culture of might makes right. It's a system where your value isn't determined by love or truth, but by your strength, by your power. It's the whole logic of conquest and dog-eat-dog competition, where the strong just dominate the weak. This is that counterfeit path, and believe me, it has a long, long history.
This chart really shows us how these two paths have played out through history. After leaving Eden, humanity kind of split. So look at the legacy of Cain on the left. Their focus was all about material civilization. And their achievements? Super impressive. They built cities, pioneered industry, created art. But what was the outcome? Moral decay, which eventually led to judgment. Now, look over at the legacy of Seth. Their focus was completely different. It was all about a spiritual walk with God. Their achievements weren't worldly, but their outcome was saving humanity through Noah. The big takeaway here is that worldly success without that spiritual core, it can lead straight to ruin. Okay, so if the path of Cain is a dead end, how in the world do we fight against that powerful pull of Babylonization? Well, this brings us to the second half of our treasure map. This is the key. It's what unlocks our ability to actually pursue true Edenization and, find the real treasure. This second mission is all about transformation from the inside out. It's a call to help people find truth, to reconnect with their divine purpose, and to start living lives that are empowered by a spiritual reality. So it's not just about building a better world, it's about becoming better people who are capable of building that world. And this mission comes straight from what's called the Great Commission. Now remember, that first mission, the Eden Mandate, that was for all of humanity. The second mission, though, this is specifically for those who choose to follow this particular path. It's a call to teach, to guide, and to share a truth that can literally transform the world. And this is where things get really, really powerful. See, this second mission isn't just about good ideas, it's about actual empowerment. It's about creating what you could call a new humanity, people who are spiritually equipped to push back against the very corrupting forces that define Babylonization.
This isn't just about hoping for a better world, it's about becoming the kind of people who can actually build it, people who are no longer slaves to its broken systems.
All right, so we have both pieces of our map now. We have the mission to build the world, and we have the mission to transform the people in it. So now it's time. Let's put them together and finally see where that treasure is actually buried.
So here it is. The treasure isn't just in the Eden mission by itself. We saw that can lead down the path of Cain. All that hollow success. And it's not just in the disciple mission alone, disconnected from the real world. The treasure, the real treasure, is found right where the two meet. It's a divine vision for your life.
This is the secret, right here. The treasure is not something you have to wait for in the next life. It's a real, tangible, powerful vision for your life right now. It happens when your career, your business, your family, all that daily Edenization work gets fused with the higher spiritual purpose of transforming lives. It's that moment your job stops being just a job and it becomes a platform for your purpose. And this makes the whole thing incredibly personal, doesn't it? That huge mission to make disciples of all nations doesn't necessarily mean you have to pack your bags and go to some faraway country. No, it starts exactly where you are. The nations are your family members, your friends, your coworkers, your clients. The world you're supposed to build and Edenize is your home, your office, your neighborhood. That's your vineyard.
So just like the children in that story, the field has been identified. The treasure, that amazing, purpose-driven, visionary life, is buried right under your feet in the everyday soil of your work and your family. The only question left is, how are you going to begin to dig?